Hello and welcome back to the Green Workbench. So for my tractor, one of the attachments that I originally wanted was on my list was a rake, but unfortunately didn't make the cut. I had a budget. I had to pick within that budget. And since then I've been looking at rakes, and to get a 3-point rake, it's about $1,000 minimum, 1,000 to $1,500, even for a used one. So I found one that attaches via a hitch. And I have a hitch attachment already, so I thought I'd try it out. It's less than $200. So this is a 4-foot rake hitch attachment. So we're going to put it together. First things first, it came with all the bolts and parts and everything, but no instructions. So the only document is a customer service page, but otherwise apparently I have to figure it out for myself. So it's not starting out great, but we'll get started and figure out what we need to do. We have all the tines for the rake, we have the attachment for the hitch, and the main bar. So we'll get started. Okay, it appears like our tine's going like this, with a carriage bolt that drops on top, a washer, and 17 millimeters. So I'm going to go through and get all of these set before I tighten them all down, and hopefully I'm doing it properly. Again, no instructions, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we can already see these tines have a different bend in them, just straight from the manufacturer, which doesn't bode well, but we'll see. Okay, the last step is we need to attach it's going to be interesting. Got to attach the hitch assembly. So we're going to flip it around here and see if we can figure that out. Okay, so I actually had to go online and look at the picture because I thought it went underneath in between here, but it actually goes on top. So they have a big bolt goes through here, and then this is one of the pins, and there are 3 holes, so you can actually angle the rake in different directions. So that's actually kind of convenient. Didn't realize that that was even a feature. So that, even though we didn't have instructions, it was actually pretty simple to put together. Not too bad at all. So we're going to give it a shot, hook it up to the tractor, and see how it works. In case you're wondering, I got this hitch attachment from GoodWorks Tractors. Highly recommend it. Okay. All right. So we found our first problem. These holes aren't lined up right. So the large size pin that came with it, although it fits individually, I can't actually slip it through because they don't line up. I don't super want to force it. Yeah. Okay, well, that's not awesome. Okay. All right, so we're on. We're ready to go. So I'm gonna move the camera and we're gonna start raking the garden, see what happens. Okay, I used my box blade and those scarfires to essentially yank up the weeds. So that's why we have kind of these piles. And they're also filled with dirt though as well because of the box blade. So my hope is that with this rake, I can go over it. After going over it a few times, I can separate the weeds into a pile from the dirt, and I can get rid of all of the weeds so I can start out clean. So just gonna leave the camera here and we'll see how it goes. All right, so it works really well. Been able to gather up all these weeds. The big question is going to be, how strong is it? How durable? Obviously, it's not as durable as a 3-point attachment, but so far for 200 bucks, working great. So that's, I'll leave a link in the comments of where I purchased it. So that's my $200 hitch rake attachment for the 1025R. And hopefully this helps. Let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you next time on the Green Workbench.